Welcome to Illuminati Silver. We tell you the truth about silver. Today is Saturday the 30th of January 2016 and we're providing our brief gold and silver update for week ending the 29th of January. Gold rose in US dollar terms last week by $21 from $1,097 to $1,118, having been as high as 1,127 and as low as 1,078. In sterling terms, it rose by £15, and in euro terms, it also rose by €15. Silver rose 23 cents from $14.04 to $14.27, having reached a high during the week of $14.53 and a low of $13.69, though this dramatic low lasted all but a few minutes. In sterling terms, it rose by 18 pence and also by 0.18 euros. The gold to silver ratio rose slightly from 78.2 to 1 to 78.35 to 1. We predicted a further strength in gold and silver for last week, and this actually occurred in dollar, sterling and euro terms. Technical traders see a little strength in both gold and silver for next week, with support for gold at the $1,100 level and resistance for silver at the $1,460 level, though some analysts see the resistance level at $1,450. The Dow Jones closed on Friday at 16,466, that's up 396 points, and the Nasdaq closed at 4613. Friday saw quite strong rises in all markets, including Asia, Europe and the Americas. The dollar index stands at 99.6, continuing its previous week's strength, although by a much smaller percentage. The FOMC reported on Wednesday that it was not going to raise rates, and in fact gave a relatively dovish tone, suggesting that rates were not likely to rise in March as originally predicted, using that much more used word in previous times, accommodative. Having experienced the European Central Bank's comment that it may consider an extension of QE in the future, announced the previous week, and the Bank of Japan declaring that it would begin to charge banks for the privilege of holding money at the central bank, thereby cutting its rate from 0.1% to minus 0.1%. Stock markets around the world were buoyed by these announcements. So the dollar continues to strengthen regardless of numerous more extreme commentators announcing it's on the verge of collapse. Though late announcements last week did show that the US economy slowed sharply in the final quarter of 2015 to achieve an annualized growth of just 0.7% after spending by consumers and businesses eased. The figure announced by the US Commerce Department was weaker than had been previously expected by analysts and economists, who were largely forecasting a rise of 0.9%. It meant that gross domestic product, or GDP, for 2015 as a whole came in at 2.4% for the second year running. This is just 0.2% higher than the 2.2% growth rate that the UK announced for itself earlier in the week. Gold appears to have found a base at this stage, and silver too appears to be holding its own. We see markets beginning positive next week, and as we enter the Chinese New Year, also see commodities holding up. Of course, should stock markets continue to rise, then the envisaged funds planned for investment into gold may not occur, which could temper its rise and that of its poorer cousin, silver. We hope you have found this video interesting and informative, And if so, please give it a thumb up and share it on Twitter. Also, kindly visit our website at www.illuminatisilver.com and look at our Facebook page, which is updated daily at www.facebook.com/Illuminati Silver. Disclaimer: Illuminati Silver owners come from a background of banking, international wealth management and economics. Having now retired from these worlds, we are not qualified to give investment advice. Therefore, this and other productions must not be deemed to be giving such advice and merely represent the personal views of its owners.